You're watching the Isaiah Factor, Uncensored.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored, the second half hour. More minorities are buying guns than ever before these days. A study by the National Sports Shooting Foundation found a 58% increase in gun sales to black buyers from 2019 to 2020. Now, there was a 49% increase in Hispanic buyers and a 43% increase in Asian buyers. And on top of that, the number of black and Hispanic people killed by guns is also sky high and depressing as hell. Tonight, some insight from a New York City police officer.
I think this is a direct result of defund the police, the anti-cop atmosphere that's been out there. You're pulling cops out of neighborhoods, you're empowering criminals. Of course, they're going to want to go out and do what criminals do, which is rob, shoot, and kill each other. So I think the answer to all of this is to support your cops, encourage proactive policing, and silence the defund the police crowd who really don't pay a penalty for being wrong. You know, people in black communities want cops there. They want that protection. They want that security and that safety. The people that are advocating for defund the police have security details around them. You know, they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on security. So, of course, they can afford to defund the police while increasing their own security. But the average person in black, Hispanic, low-income communities cannot do that. So when you see an uptick in crime in these communities, it's because you're empowering criminals by making police out to be the bad guys, which isn't the right answer.
Now, was defund the police more of an anthem than actually carried out by municipalities around this country? A lot of city council members talked about it, and a lot of Black Lives Matter members talked about it, but it wasn't actually carried out when it comes to defunding the police in many communities around this city. So do you think it is the words when you say defund the police rather than actually doing it that's harming communities of brown and black people around this country?
I agree that it wasn't really carried out because I know a lot of elected officials wanted to try it.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that.
They definitely tried to pull resources from the police and then wound up having to put more resources into the police after the crime uptick. But either way, it empowered criminals to want to now go out there and do what criminals do. You know, if you're making police out to be the bad guys and you're saying, yeah, we're against them, you know, that's not going to benefit anyone in high crime areas. You know, the people at low income, people that really just want to live their lives, come home and go to work. So it might have been an anthem more than anything, but it was an empowering anthem towards the bad element out there. You know,
and do you think it had a negative impact on law enforcement as well, who, when they heard defund the police, it affected the morale of law enforcement agencies, the rank and file around the country?
It couldn't help but impact the morale. You know, like I said, most cops out there really just want to do their jobs the right way and then go home. They're average people like you and I. So when you're now demonizing them on television and you've got elected officials basically standing with the criminals and saying, we're going to support you instead of supporting the cops, it can't help but be demoralizing. I mean, you look at the recruitment numbers. Recruitment is down in major cities, in New York, in Chicago, in Los Angeles. And that's a direct result of making cops out to be the bad guys. Who wants to take the job when you're just going to be demonized over and over again?
In New York City, there is a mayor there, Mayor Adams, who said he was going to be tough on crime and wanted to beef up police presence on the subways. Obviously, we see what happened on the subway, and we've seen an increase in crime in New York despite the effort to reduce crime there. What do you think the problem is in New York, in your neck of the woods?
The problem is definitely what I call the DeBlasio effect. You know, you had a mayor for 8 years who made it very clear that he stood on his side against the police. He made it seem like he was trying to be some sort of revolutionary while being an elected official. So that empowered police. You know, when you've got police officers getting water dumped on them, and his response to that is knock it off. When he heavily supported the Black Lives Matter movement, who on video they've chanted for the death of cops, that demoralizes everything. And he did a lot of things to sort of pull resources away from police and demoralize police. So when you've got 8 years of that, and you've got, you know, district attorneys that don't want to do what their job is, which is to prosecute criminals, and you've got other elected officials in the city council who make it a point to stand against the police, it's demoralizing. So now you've got this new mayor in who might want to do the right thing, but he's fighting a very uphill battle. It's going to take a long time before the DeBlasio effect is reversed and this city can go back on the uptick. I support him in his efforts, and I hope he does what he set out to do, but it's going to take a mountainous effort.
And of course, this former mayor, or this current mayor, is a former law enforcement officer. Now, when it comes to responsibility of Black and Hispanic communities, what's their role in putting a stop to those who run around, shoot and kill in their communities? Is there a role for them to play to say, look, we're not going to allow this in our neighborhoods?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, instead of recording the police officers, either on their phones or what you think they're doing something wrong, why don't you record the drug dealers, record the gang members, record the people that are actively trying to destroy your neighborhood for their own gain? There's a huge difference between Black and brown communities where they seem to want to take more of a hands-off approach to their own neighborhood safety, and other neighborhoods where they're at the police community councils, they're at the safety meetings, they have their own neighborhood watches set up. They're taking an active role in the safety of their neighborhoods. And I think in Black and brown communities, especially where there's such a high crime rate, there could be more being done by the people in the neighborhoods to bring about safety in these neighborhoods.
All right, Zeke Arkham from New York, thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. Good to hear your perspective tonight.